Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Azri, Rahman. Alongside with me, Bella, Ammar and Aisyah Humaira will be presenting the challenges in dialects and identity. The first challenge in dialects and identity is the differences in pronunciation, grammar and vocabulary. This challenge will result in communication barrier or semantic barrier. Language variety can be very difficult to understand, and for a person who is not very familiar with that particular language variety, the person will have a hard time to understand the conversation or the message. Also, misunderstanding can happen between the people who use dialects such as Kelantanese or Terengganu people with people who use standard language such as Selangorian. A quick example I can give is a word pecat from a Kelantanese word that means to take off your shirt or to pecat your shoes. But in standard language, the word pecat means to fire. The boss pecat his worker. This can be very confusing and can create misunderstanding because of a word.
So now, let's move on to the next challenges of dialects and identity in the educational system in Malaysia. As we know, Malaysia has many unique dialects all over the country such as the Kelantanese, Kedahan, Terengganu, Sarawakian and others. However, despite all the special and unique features of the dialects, the challenges that are faced by the teachers and students in the aspect of education are quite varying. The students face difficulties in understanding the lesson because they used to talk and communicate using their dialect. Research by Shafini in 2020 shows that the students face difficulties in differentiating the Malay language from the local dialect, cause the students feel lack of confidence in their learning process. For example, as a Kelantanese, I would be very nervous if I had to give a presentation in the standard Malay language, not to mention in English, because I would be very tempted to speak in the Kelantanese dialect, which would affect my grades. Moreover, most of the teachers from the same state would tend to use their dialects while teaching the students, which makes the students feel comfortable in learning using the dialect. This could influence the students' writing and answering the examination using the standard language. Another research by Tegegne in 2015 proved that tests written in the standard language are not only difficult for people who used to speak in the dialect, but they are also hard to understand in context. This could affect their studies and also academic performance. So that's all from me. I will pass this platform to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ammar, and the third challenge faced is rural dialects are legitimate, but urban dialects are still not. Rural dialects are old and already accepted by the community, while urban dialects are new and foreign to the society. Only the younger generation accepts and uses urban dialects. The older generation do not accept and establish the dialect. This happens because people from different periods of time have different ideas on what is spoken correctly and wrongly. The older generations may not accept the urban dialects due to prejudices and negative impressions on the speakers. They may have the impression that the speakers are lazy and uneducated. This is because the dialect used reflects the speaker's identity. With the youngsters being rebellious and reckless, the dialect has the same impression too. So the older generation would not want to use the urban dialect. To the old folks, grammatical errors are unacceptable, and it means the speakers are uneducated, even though both rural and urban dialects are not grammatically correct. The younger generation that already accepts the dialect will continue to speak the dialect until the dialect is passed to the future generations, hence leading to the acceptance of the new dialects. The older folks may not accept the urban dialects, but the young and future generations will.
Hello, my name is Nabila. Now let us move on to the last challenges that are associated with the dialects and identity. The last challenges would be dialects having the probability of dying out or weakening. Things that contributes to the dialects dying out is because of the influence of increased urbanization and the spread of media, featuring speakers using more standard forms of language, such as English language and Malay language. So when this happens, Dialects are not frequently used by younger generations in the same way as their parents and their grandparents did. And furthermore, young people nowadays, they have to acquire competence in the standard forms of a language in order to succeed in education and employment. And these may cause the dialects to die out. For example, in Penang, the majority of Chinese are from Hokkien lineage, but the use of their language has become diminished. That linguistic expert Catherine Churchman warned of Hokkien becoming virtually extinct in the state. And besides, the dialects of Teochew, Hakka, and Hainanese also have thinned away in Malaysia. Thus, throughout the presentation, we can see how each phenomena becomes the challenges towards the usage of dialects and how people's identity and attitudes contributes to these four challenges. That's all from us. Thank you for listening and Assalamualaikum.